Ever get that feeling? Like someone's raining on your parade, you know, dumping negativity on you, especially when you're trying to chase those big dreams.
Yeah, totally. It can be so discouraging when people doubt your abilities or like try to hold you back.
Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to be unpacking some awesome insights from Ben's latest blog post. It's called Rising Above Discouragement, Proving Your Worth.
Ooh, I love that title.
Right. And it's all about how to take that negativity, all that discouragement, and actually use it as fuel, like turning those doubts into rocket fuel to launch yourself forward.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. So where do we even begin?
Well, Ben starts off by helping us understand where that discouragement is really coming from.
Yeah.
Like, is it actually about us or something else?
Right, because sometimes it feels so personal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But Ben uses this really cool analogy to explain it. He compares it to a projector casting shadows.
Okay, how does that work?
He's saying it's not really about the surface the shadow falls on, but about what's being projected,
Yeah.
So like that negativity might not be about you at all. It might be about the insecurities of the person projecting it.
Whoa, that's a powerful way to think about it. It's like their negativity is their own shadow, not yours.
Exactly. And recognizing that could be a huge step in, like detaching yourself from the weight of those comments. Like if someone's putting you down, it might actually be saying more about them than about you.
Totally. So then how do we move past that? Like, how do we not let it get to us?
Well, that's where Ben's next point comes in. And it's all about building your own, like, inner fortress of self-belief. He argues that the best way to combat discouragement is by strengthening your belief in yourself.
Okay, I love that. But how do we actually do that? Like, how do we build up that self-belief?
He talks about setting small, achievable goals as a way to, like, prove to yourself that you are capable.
Yeah, because those small wins can really start to add up.
Right. It's about creating a cycle of success.
Yeah.
You set a goal, you achieve it, and that gives you the confidence to set even bigger goals. It's like this amazing snowball effect.
Okay, so it's not about like suddenly becoming super confident overnight, but about building it up gradually through those smaller achievements.
Exactly. And, it doesn't have to be anything huge at first. It could be as simple as like finally organizing your desk or, learning a new skill you've been putting off.
I like that. It makes it seem so much more attainable.
Yeah. And those little victories are actually super important because they start to chip away at that self-doubt.
So it's like each small win is like a brick in that inner fortress you were talking about.
Precisely. And as you build that fortress, you become more and more resilient to those negative comments. Speaking of which, that actually leads us to Ben's next mind-blowing idea. He calls it turning negativity into rocket fuel.
Okay, now this I gotta hear. How do we turn negativity into something positive?
Well, he basically suggests using those negative comments as motivation to reach your goals. It's like instead of letting them drag you down, you use that energy to propel you forward.
Almost like reverse psychology.
Exactly. Like, let's say someone tells you you're not creative enough to be a writer. You could let that crush you, or you could use it as fuel to write that amazing novel you've always dreamed of.
Wow, that's a total game changer. So it's about reframing those negative comments and seeing them as challenges to overcome.
You got it. And Ben reminds us to break down those larger aspirations into smaller, more manageable steps. Because, every time you hit a milestone, it's a victory. And each victory keeps that motivation burning.
That makes so much sense. Breaking it down like that can feel less overwhelming too.
For sure. And it all ties in with Ben's next point, which is all about the power of your circle, the people you surround yourself with. He talks about the importance of having positive influences in your life.
Yeah, that's so important. It's like if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it's going to be way harder to stay positive yourself.
Exactly. There's even research that shows our brains are kind of wired to mirror the emotions of those around us.
Really? So, like, if we spend time with positive, supportive people, we're more likely to feel that way ourselves.
Exactly. So it's crucial to be mindful of who you're spending your time with.
Mhm.
Do they lift you up or bring you down?
I'm starting to see a real theme here, like all these points connect.
They totally do. But, Ben's also realistic, right? He doesn't sugarcoat things. He acknowledges that even with the best support system, even with all this positive energy, we're still going to face setbacks. We're all going to experience failure at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Failure is a part of life.
And it's how we deal with it that matters.
Right.
What's cool is that Ben frames failure not as a sign of inadequacy, but as a stepping stone to success. It's all about learning from those experiences and using them to grow.
I love that. It takes the sting out of failure. Makes it seem less scary.
Totally. And, it's about cultivating resilience, that ability to bounce back from those challenges and keep moving forward.
Resilience.
Yeah.
That's a powerful word.
Right. And it's something we can all develop. Ben even gives a great example. He talks about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Did you know her first book was rejected by like 12 publishers before it finally got picked up?
Seriously, 12. Wow. Talk about resilience.
Right. I mean, can you imagine if she'd given up after the first few rejections?
The world would be missing out on a magical universe.
Exactly. So her story is a perfect example of how important it is to keep going, even when things get tough.
It's so inspiring.
It really is. And, it brings us back to Ben's central message, which is all about proving your worth. But not to anyone else, but to yourself. He says that true validation doesn't come from seeking approval from others, especially those who doubt you. It comes from achieving your goals despite those doubts.
So it's like their opinion doesn't actually define your worth.
Exactly. It's about defining success on your own terms, based on what matters to you, not what others think you should be doing.
That's so empowering. And when you do that, when you rise above those doubts and achieve your goals, it can actually inspire others who might be facing similar challenges.
Oh, absolutely. That's actually Ben's final point. He talks about how by overcoming discouragement, you can actually become a source of light for others. Your resilience can have a ripple effect, encouraging others to believe in themselves, too.
It's like by proving your worth to yourself, you're showing others that they can do it too.
That's a beautiful way to put it. So, Ben has given us some incredibly practical and powerful tools here, right?
Totally.
Like, it all comes down to remembering that negativity often says more about the person dishing it out than the person receiving it.
Right. It's their shadow, not yours.
Build that inner fortress of self-belief, set those clear goals, surround yourself with awesome people, and embrace failure as a learning opportunity on the path to success.
And define success for yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you what it should look like.
Exactly. So as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a little challenge. Take a minute to think about one small step you can take today to nurture that self-belief and get closer to those goals. It could be anything. Sign up for that course, finally start that project, reach out to a mentor.
Yeah, take action. It doesn't have to be huge, just something to get that momentum going.
You got it. And hey, if you're hungry for more inspiration, be sure to check out Ben's blog over on our website, aspireandact.com.
And don't forget our YouTube channel. You can find us at Aspire and Act. We've got tons of awesome content there too.
We'll catch you in the next episode.
See us.